Wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that.
Derek Chisora slaps Deontay Wilder during their heated face-off, detonating shockwaves across the boxing world in an instant. What started as a routine stare-down twisted into a volatile, jaw-dropping moment no one saw coming. With tension already boiling beneath the surface, Chisora's sudden move hijacked the entire atmosphere, flipping a standard promotional moment into a serious, unsettling talking point and forcing everyone to question just how deep and personal this heavyweight collision has truly become now. Derek Chisora doubled down on the slap and made it clear it wasn't an accident or some cheap publicity stunt. He hinted the moment was a warning shot, not a reckless emotional slip. Chisora dismissed claims it was planned, stressing that the second he stepped on stage, it was about delivering a message tied to his 50th fight. He wasn't there for mind games or theatrics. He was there to make sure Deontay Wilder understood exactly what was coming next.
I showed it to you. I was not meant to show it to you, but I figured out I'm right here, so let's do it.
You were reluctant at the first you weren't going to get on stage, and then you waited. Was that all planned?
Nah, I don't plan things, I just decided.
Frank Warren blasted the chaos at the face-off, branding the entire incident ridiculous and exposing how fast these moments can spiral completely out of control at press conferences. He warned that what looks harmless in the moment can quickly turn dangerous, pointing to small cuts and minor injuries that often get ignored but can suddenly become serious problems. Warren stressed that these confrontations cross a clear line, transforming tension into risk. For him, what should be a controlled promotional event now threatens to slide into unnecessary drama, reckless behavior, and real danger.
I don't like things like that. I mean, it's ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong. There's a little cut, I don't know how bad it is, I've not had a chance to speak to anybody.
Deontay Wilder answered Derek Chisora's slap with icy authority, flipping the moment into a quiet public embarrassment for Chisora under the bright lights. Wilder explained he knew exactly what kind of energy he was facing from the start, and when Chisora tried to assert dominance, he didn't react emotionally, he revealed his own power instead. Comparing the tense clash to two gorillas pounding their chests, Wilder made it unmistakably clear this was never staged or scripted. It was raw, it was real, and anyone believing his finished is making a dangerous mistake.
Fight business. No one is safe. You understand me? Nobody is safe in the fight business, and you just never know who want to pick a bone with you and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know Derek. I've been knowing Derek for a long time. You know what I mean? And, you know, I know how he is. So I know what's up. You know, so when he came up to me, that's like a challenge. You know how two gorillas is beating.
The Wade concept warned that the stage altercation crossed a dangerous line far too fast. Fighters are meant to ignite hype, not swing fists, yet tempers exploded beyond control. In combat sports this chaos isn't new, but this moment hit different, proving how rapidly a routine press event can collapse into something tense, volatile, and completely unpredictable.
On stage their face off, of course not. Yes, it's over the line, you shouldn't be doing it, they shouldn't be putting hands on each other, but it is the fight game and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights, we've seen people throw dollies in this game, in the combat sports.
Dave Coldwell stressed that laying a hand on another fighter's face is a serious escalation, a line that instantly changes everything. What's normally dismissed as playful intimidation suddenly transforms into a direct provocation, driving the stakes higher in a heartbeat. This goes beyond bruised egos. It signals genuine animosity and intent. That single moment reshaped the Wilder-Chisora dynamic, turning an ordinary press conference into a charged, electric scene that hints at the raw intensity and danger fans should expect once they finally meet in the ring.
That's a little bit naughty, because I know it's all, you know, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that takes it to...
Eddie Hearn didn't hesitate to praise the sheer dominance on display, making it clear that pure skill alone never defines a true fighter. For Hearn, it's about the ability to impose yourself in the heat of the moment, to take control and leave no room for doubt. He pointed out that stopping an opponent and battering them with unmistakable authority isn't accidental, it's proof of raw power, iron mental toughness, perfect timing, and supreme confidence. His words carried weight, leaving absolutely no doubt in his mind about who stands at the very top of the sport pound for pound right now.
I don't think he's skill-wise up there with Usyk, but to do that and just stop him and batter him, like, just phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, he is... There is absolutely no question in my mind who is the pound.
Duke McKenzie applauded the move as a smart, calculated tactic, stressing that in today's boxing landscape, showmanship carries just as much weight as technical skill. He suggested moments like this are designed to grab attention, spark debate, and lock fans in emotionally, elevating the entire spectacle beyond routine promotion. What could have been a forgettable press event instantly transformed into must-watch drama, the kind that dominates headlines and fuels anticipation. In modern boxing, entertaining the crowd is no longer optional, it's part of the strategy, and this moment served as a textbook example of how chaos, timing, and presence can amplify the fight before a single punch is thrown.
I thought it was a stroke of genius, personally. I don't see there's any harm in it. You know, this is the entertainment business that we live in now, and if you're not going to be entertaining...
Simon Jordan didn't mince words as chaos erupted at the face-off, reminding everyone that boxing has always thrived on moments that shock and divide. From spitting incidents to explosive confrontations, fighters have a long history of crossing lines simply to send a message. Chisora stepping into Wilder's space wasn't random bravado or blind emotion, it was calculated intimidation, a deliberate attempt to rattle a world-class opponent before fists ever fly. Jordan made it clear he wasn't surprised or offended by what unfolded, emphasizing that this sport feeds on raw, unscripted tension. Fans don't tune in just for technique, they live for moments like this, and Chisora made sure every eye in the room was locked on his audacious, headline-grabbing antics.
I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? You know, we saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
Frank Warren pulled back the curtain on the behind-the-scenes grind of making the Chisora-Wilder clash official, revealing how contracts, lawyers, and drawn-out negotiations slowed what always felt inevitable. He explained that red tape delayed the collision, not doubt, because both men were desperate for a fight that actually mattered. Once their intentions finally aligned, the path was unavoidable. This wasn't manufactured hype or another hollow promotional move. It was two battle-hardened heavyweights chasing something deeper. Wilder is fighting to prove he still belongs among the elite, that his power and presence haven't faded. Chisora, heading into his 50th fight, is driven by legacy, determined to leave a permanent mark before time runs out.
It's on. It was a matter of getting the contract signed, and lawyers going between each other sometimes takes longer than it takes to make the fight. But it was always on, and it was on because both fighters wanted it. And I've said it many times, if the guys want to fight each other, it's not difficult to do. Wilder wanted a meaningful fight, and Tyson wanted a meaningful.
Eddie Hearn weighed in on the cold, brutal reality of this heavyweight collision, bluntly branding Chisora a dangerous underdog against Wilder's explosive threat. He warned that even if Chisora somehow survives the opening storm, the chances of withstanding Wilder's crushing power beyond the 5th or 6th round are frighteningly slim. Hearn painted a tense picture of a fight where every second bleeds into the next, where a single misstep, a moment of hesitation, could trigger instant catastrophe for Chisora. Yet he also acknowledged the intoxicating thrill of matchups like this, the chaos, the unpredictability, the suffocating tension, and the sheer, unforgiving risk. Fans aren't simply watching another bout unfold. They are witnessing a high-stakes gamble where experience, raw power, and split-second timing collide, and where one explosive moment could completely shatter expectations and violently rewrite the narrative.
Do you believe that Derek Chisora can beat Deontay Wilder?
I think he's a big underdog in the fight, and I think he may also get knocked out in the fight. If he gets past 5 or 6 rounds with Deontay Wilder, he's banging that fight. He might not get through 5 or 6 rounds with Deontay Wilder, but he's fighting.
Frank Warren delivered a chilling warning about the danger Chisora faces by stepping into the ring with Wilder, making it clear this is no ordinary risk. He stressed that standing across from one of the hardest hitters in heavyweight history isn't merely difficult, it flirts with disaster. Age, wear, and years of accumulated punishment all loom heavily over this matchup, shadows that can't be ignored. Warren suggested Chisora may be pushing himself too far in his relentless pursuit of glory, chasing one last defining moment. This wasn't idle talk or dramatic exaggeration. It was calculated caution from a promoter who understands exactly what's at stake. Wilder's power isn't only physical, it's psychological, and a single lapse, a brief mistake, could trigger a catastrophic ending in seconds.
Fight Wilder. That's the one fighter that, out of all of them, I just think it'd be a disaster for him.
Doesn't need that, you know. He's just, if he was going to fight on, fight on, but don't do that. That's you know. I mean, it's the hardest punch in heavyweight, probably in heavyweight history. I think if you look at the stats, and I just think if Derek, and I think he's probably a little bit older than me, Derek. So you know, I just think, you know, whatever condition you're in, is, you know, you going up against.
Tyson Fury's reaction instantly set the tone for the Wilder-Chisora showdown, framing it as for more than just another fight and instead branding it a collision of eras, identities, and unforgiving personalities. Fury underlined the legacy both men carry into the ring, with Wilder standing as a fearsome American champion built on 10 title defenses and concussive knockout power, while Chisora represents the UK's battle-hardened warlord, a fighter who never ducks danger or backs away from chaos. By boldly backing Chisora to score a stoppage, Fury poured fuel on the fire, injecting drama, debate, and raw fan energy into an already volatile matchup. His words made it clear this bout isn't casual viewing, it carries real weight and serious consequences. The mix of Wilder's explosive, fight-ending power and Chisora's relentless, pressure-heavy style all but guarantees fireworks once the bell rings. Fury's praise magnified the scale of the moment, painting this as a must-watch heavyweight spectacle where history, pride, and national rivalry crash together violently, promising an encounter charged with emotion, risk, and unforgettable intensity.
So I've just seen that Chisora and Deontay Wilder are going to do a fight. I think this is a great fight. You know, I've fought both of these men 3 times each, actually. Just thought of that. And I think it's a very, very good fight. But on this one, I'm going to go with my boy, Del Boy, War Chisora, for a stoppage. Get up there, Derek! Come on! It's coming home. And there should be a belt on the line too. So one of you sanctioning bodies, you got 2 legendary fighters here, a champion, world champion with 10 title defences from the USA, and an absolute warlord from the United Kingdom who's fought everybody, never ducked anybody, and would have been a good heavyweight in any era, Derek Chisora.
Adam Smith dissected the matchup with razor-sharp clarity, branding it a near 50-50th fight while openly questioning how much Deontay Wilder truly has left after several punishing, turbulent years. He acknowledged that Wilder's single-punch power remains one of the most destructive forces boxing has ever seen, a weapon capable of ending everything in a heartbeat, yet he pointed to a visible decline in form since the brutal Fury trilogy. On the opposite side, Chisora keeps grinding forward, fueled by experience, resilience, and a strange momentum that refuses to fade. Smith framed this 50th fight as a defining crossroads for Derek, a moment where legacy outweighs logic and survival battles ambition. With the official announcement looming in April, the tension is building toward fever pitch. The breakdown makes one thing clear: Wilder carries the constant threat of sudden annihilation, but Chisora's endurance, timing, and hardened veteran instincts inject real danger into every round. Nothing is guaranteed here. One punch could erase everything, or one relentless push could break the script, setting the stage for a volatile, high-stakes clash that can swing violently either way.
It's a fantastic, almost, you could say a 50-50. We don't know what Wilder's got left. Obviously, he possesses the biggest, probably single punch power since an early Shavers, but he didn't look great. Well, hasn't looked great, has he, for the last couple of years, probably since the Fury trilogy. And Derek continues to keep grinding results out, and once that 50th fight, it will be a fantastic build-up, we know. It looks like it will be announced. I'm hearing April. I just think it's a great battle.
Andrew McCourt broke down why this matchup makes perfect sense, especially when stacked against the once-rumored Usyk-Wilder bout that never materialized. He pointed out that while Wilder has taken losses and endured setbacks, he's clawing his way back into relevance, while Chisora is arriving at this moment riding form, confidence, and timing, making the collision feel urgent and alive. For Chisora, the weight of a 50th professional fight adds prestige, pressure, and deep emotional intensity, turning every second of the build-up into something meaningful and combustible. McCourt emphasized the natural storyline driving anticipation, seasoned experience colliding with raw, fight-ending power, a narrative boxing fans instinctively gravitate toward. Questions hang heavy in the air: can Wilder reclaim his dominance and silence doubts, or will Chisora seize this moment to cement his legacy once and for all? That tension frames the bout perfectly, positioning it as a true heavyweight spectacle where pride, history, and career-defining stakes smash together, creating one of the most anticipated and emotionally charged clashes of the year.
Especially at this stage of their career. I mean, Wilder's coming off a couple of losses. I know he's got the win back a few months back, and Derek Chisora's on a good run of form. 3 great wins, Joe Joyce and Wallen of late. So I do like this fight. I like this fight more than I do Wilder.
Pauli Malignaggi delivered a brutally honest assessment, arguing that a Wilder versus Usyk fight at this stage would have been overrated and lacking real edge. Instead, he pointed to the Chisora matchup as something far more dangerous, raw, and unpredictable, fueled by heart and grit rather than hype. He admitted that a few years ago he never would have backed Chisora in a fight like this, but now the veteran's improved timing, durability, and relentless ferocity make him a legitimate threat. Despite Wilder's global fame and terrifying knockout reputation, Malignaggi noted that some of his sharpness has faded, subtly leveling the playing field. That shift transforms this bout into something far more balanced than many expect. He emphasized that both men still fight with stubborn character and deep resolve, refusing to fade quietly. The possibility of Chisora pulling off a shocking upset is real, not fantasy. This isn't a contest decided by skill alone. It's a collision of willpower, endurance, and precision under pressure, with fans bracing for a battle loaded with chaos, intensity, and moments that could echo long after the final bell.
2 legendary fighters here, a champion, world champion with 10 title defences from the USA, and an absolute warlord from the United Kingdom who's fought everybody, never ducked anybody, and would have been a good heavyweight in any era, Derek Chisora. Let's go! Let's go! Put a belt on the line, boys. Come on! 50, 50, fight, 50.
The build-up to Wilder versus Chisora was already spiraling into chaos, with press conference confusion and non-stop speculation pouring fuel on an already raging fire. Early reports locked the event into London, only for that claim to be abruptly contradicted, leaving fans, media, and insiders scrambling for clarity. That uncertainty perfectly mirrors the brutal, high-stakes reality of heavyweight boxing, where contracts, promoters, egos, and timing collide to manufacture tension. Long before either man steps into the ring, anticipation is magnified by these backstage dramas. Every mixed signal, every delayed confirmation, sharpens the edge of excitement, making the looming showdown feel louder, riskier, and far more explosive before a single punch is thrown.